Hi guys. I'm going to do you a little. Hi guys. I think I might have prematurely gone live then. I'm going to do you a little stretch your legs at work live. So if you are there and if you are watching, then grab a chair and start stretching your legs out. So the only thing I'm going to insist on is that you're not using a chair with wheels. And if you've got a mat at home, make sure that your four legs of the chair are on it. If the chair's on carpet, great. Just make sure you're not going to slip over. So let's stretch our legs out and let me know how you get on. And yeah, let's see you on the mat. So let's have our chair handy. Let's stand in front of the chair. And let's just make sure that everything's lined up so that I can use the chair to kind of help line my body up. I'm going to stand with my feet under my hips, so they're not together, they're kind of a little bit apart. Maybe I've got a fist or two fists between my knees. And I'm going to kind of turn feet in just slightly. And this just makes sure that the head of the thigh bone just tucks into its socket. And I'm just going to have my hands on my hips or by my sides. I'm going to start just opening the front body and having a little stretch up. So I'm going to roll my shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other, lift my chest up, maybe take my head back. Maybe have my thumbs on the back of the body, really reaching, squeezing back. Just a slight upper back bend. And then I'm going to reach forward. I'm going to take hold of the chair. And I'm going to move my feet so they're under my hips. And I'm going to start just stretching into the backs of the legs. If your back starts screaming straight away, bend the knees. If you're happy to stay up high and have a stretch into the hamstrings, keep them straight. So it depends on how you're feeling. You can be up, you can come down on forearms. You can even take your elbows out, bring your head to the chair, and just stretch out the legs. And maybe stretch out one leg at a time. Just bending and straightening one leg. Just having some fun with that stretch. And then coming back on the hands on the chair, we can just do some cat and cow stretch. So you can either have your knees slightly bent, or you can do this with legs straight. But what we're trying to do now is roll the pelvis and curl the spine. So as I inhale, I'm making a back bend and arch. And as I exhale, I'm concaving. I'm just going to breathe in and out, just stretch my spine. And this feels really good. Just to stretch out your back. And then I can walk backwards and have a really nice stretch out in a down dog. I can try and make two nice long lines. Again, I can bend my knees. I can experiment here. I can bend my knees. I can lift my heels up. I can straighten my legs. I can press my heels down. I can do one leg straight, one leg bent. I can change the stretch in my legs. It's also giving me a lovely stretch into my spine. Arms are just flat. And if your hands aren't happy, you can even come closer to the chair and have more of the forearms supported. Or you can just do this against the wall with your hands pressing into the wall. However you like. And then I'm going to bring my body up and get my hands just on the outside of the chair. And I'm just going to lift my heels up and I'm going to tighten up my thighs. I'm going to bring my body weight forward so that my shoulders are over my wrists. I'm tightening up my thighs and I'm pulling my belly into my spine. And I'm really feeling that everything on the front of the body, the thighs and the belly, are contracting so that I don't just fall flat. And then I'm going to press my bottom back and my heels down, back into down dog. Stretching out my spine, stretching out my legs, and then I'm going to lift my heels up, tighten up the fronts of my thighs, move my hips and shoulders forward, pull my belly in back to my plank, shoulders over the wrists. Nice deep breaths into your strength. And then pressing the bottom, the shoulders, and the heels back and down. And we can do that one more time, why not? Lift the heels up, tighten the front of the thighs, pull the lower belly in as you roll your hips and shoulders forward. Nice straight long line, pressing into the chair. And then sending the hips back. And then just having a little stretch out again. And then let's bring one foot forward towards the chair. And then we can see if we can bend the back leg down and sink it to the floor. You can keep the toes up or the foot flat on the back foot. And you can see if you want to stay here, you can rest down, or you can press into that front foot, lift the arms up, depending on how you feel today. Stretching up. And I'm going to keep that opposite hand to the leg on the floor so that I can just have a twist. I bring my forearm onto the chair and twist in the direction of that front foot. Nice twist. And then coming back, tucking the toes under, press my hands into the chair, lift my back knee, and step back into that lovely down dog, stretching out. And then I'll step the other foot forward so that my knee can actually touch the front of the chair. So I'll make sure that my knee's under my knees are over my heel. Dropping the back knee, flattening out or tucking toes under. We can rest down or we can stretch up, pressing the front foot into the floor. However you want, you can just stay exactly as you were. And then dropping the forearm on the chair, where you can twist. That's a really nice twist, hopefully. And the hand might be here, it might be here, it might be here. We don't care. We're just twisting the spine. Coming back, holding on, tucking toes, lifting the back knee, and stepping back. Oh, and having a little stretch out. And we're going to do the same thing again. I'm going to step forward, but this time I'm going to leave the back knee up. And I'm going to press, instead of pressing the heel back and down, I'm going to press the heel up. So I'm quite high. Front knee's over my heel. I can stay here. Or I can maybe see if I can bring my hands back so that I'm really straightening the spine. Maybe I got prayer position. Maybe I'm taking the arms up. Wherever you are, maybe back of the head so you can lean back. Find a position that gives you joy. And then bringing that opposite hand onto the chair again, and we can do that twist again. Taking the hand onto the waist or in the air, twisting the spine. And then, guess what? Back down, down dog, stretch it out. Stretch the head out, stretch the back out, stretch the legs out. And then stepping the other foot forward. So the knee touches the front of the chair. I'm going to lift the back heel up. I'm going to press the front foot into the floor, see if I can draw my hands back and my spine into gravity, that nice long line. Maybe I can bring my hands to prayer pose, maybe I can take them up. Stretching, breathing, finding some joy. And then I'm going to put the opposite hand on the chair and go into my twist again. So I might be twisting the hip, the ribs, the shoulder, or I might be taking my hand up all the way to the sky. And then coming back into down dog. Little stretch out. Maybe we can step forward now and have a little forward bend just to iron out the back of the legs. Again, coming down, forehead on the chair. Outside edges of the feet parallel, so the feet are slightly turned in. So you feel snug in the groin. Taking a breath. Legs can be bent, legs can be straight, head can be up or down. And then bend the knees, come close to the chair, bending the knees still, standing up. Okay, so from here, I'm going to just take one leg back. So it's going to come straight back. And I'm going to now do that with straight legs. So I'm going to have my hands down on the chair. And the leg that's gone back, the foot's turned out a little bit naturally, otherwise I couldn't place the heel on the floor. So this time, both heels and both feet are flat on the floor. So I'm not lifting the back heel, but my back leg is turned out a little bit. And I'm going to keep the same arm as front leg on the chair. And I'm going to twist to one side, open out, really feel stretching the waist and the ribs. And then I'm going to take that arm back, place it on the chair, and I'm going to twist everything to the other side. Pelvis, ribs, chest, shoulder. And then taking that hand back. And then I'll bring the back foot forward and step the other leg back. So it's not a big step. And the legs are both straight this time, or as near straight as you can tolerate. And the feet are flat. And I keep the same hand as leg forward as I come and open up to one side. Opening up ribs and shoulder, and then dropping the opposite hand onto the chair as the foot so that I twist the other direction, twisting the rib cage, pelvis, everything, twist everything. And then coming back. And then again, into our stretch out, stretching out legs. Dropping the head. Now I'll do one more little set. Step 1 foot forward, we'll come into that high lunge again, where the front knee is over the heel and the back heel is lifted up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn in the opposite direction to the front leg and drop my back heel down. And I'm going to just stretch my arm over, so making a long line from my fingertips to the back of my heel. And then I will bring my hand back, turn on my back heel, lift the back heel, hands on the side of the chair, going back into down dog. And then bring the other foot forward, coming into that high lunge. So the knees over the heel, lifting that back heel up. And then I'm going to drop the back heel down at an angle, opening out in the opposite direction to that front foot. And then moving that arm forward, diagonal, away from the back heel. And now I'm going to turn on the back heel, bringing the hips back. Then I'm going to put the hands onto the sides of the chair, and again, step back, down dog. And then have some wriggling around. Maybe you want to come closer and do some of that cat-cow. If your back feels like it needs a bit of a rinse out, you can also do kind of more circular movements, kind of anything goes. Or you can stretch back and stretch into the backs of the legs, wherever you want to feel that stretch. And then bending the knees, walking forward. And then again, keep the bottom down as you press into the heels, lift the chest and come up. Roll the shoulders back and down. And then let's do a really difficult one. Not too difficult. But we're here at the front, my hands are on the chair. I'm going to say left and right this time so I don't get muddled up. I'm going to take my left toes back, and just to have them plonked onto the mat. And my right arm is going to go and hang over that back of the chair. And then I can see if I can take that back leg up so that it's parallel to the floor. I can point the toes down. If I take a look at it, I don't want the toes pointing out. I want them pointing down at the floor. And then I might even be able to take that arm away from the chair, but it doesn't matter. If not, we can be here, we can be here, we can be here. Pressing on that chair. And then rest the arm, rest the toes, bring the hand back, bring the leg back, and we change sides. The right foot goes back, toes on the floor. The left hand rests on the back of the chair. If you haven't got a back of the chair, you can just do it without, or you can just keep reaching the hand forward and lifting up. Pressing on to the foot that's supporting you, lifting the back leg, so adjusting. So you have to move forward as I lifted the back leg. Looking back, checking that my toes are pointing down to the floor. My leg is internally rotating, and I can also lift my arm up if I want to. I can be here, I can be here, I can be here, wherever. And then dropping the arm onto the chair, dropping the toes onto the mat. Bring the hands back. And then if you want another down dog, stretch out the hips. You can have that. You can have a standing forward bend if you want. Whichever one of these gives you more pleasure and joy. Stretching into the backs of the legs as you forward bend. Or cat and cow. Just loosening up the spine. Okay, and then again, weight on the heels. Dropping the bottom, lifting the chest, pressing into the heels to come up. Okay, last one, stretching the thighs. And this is a fun one. This is chair pose on a chair. So I'm going to come to the front of the chair. I'm going to have the weight onto the heels. And it's a mixture between moving the weight forward and then, so moving the chest forward and then moving the weight forward onto the heels. So I'm going to have my hands near the chair so that I don't sit on the floor, I don't feel fear. I'm going to take this in stages. My feet got the fists, my knees have got the fists in between them, so my feet are under my heels, my knees are hip distance apart. I'm going to reach forward, dropping my chest, reaching my chest forward, not dropping my chest, reaching my chest forward, my arms back, so a nice strong line. So I can keep hold of the chair. I'm going to see if I can shift my weight. I'm just going to experiment. See if I can shift my weight onto my feet, leaving the chair behind, and then I'm going to see if I can reach back and sit on the chair without fear. So first of all, I'm just trying to plug in and activate the thighs to see if I can do it. See if I can switch that on. Maybe I have to move my legs slightly. And then from there, you can kind of just move into more confidence. When I'm there, maybe I reach my arms forward and press my heels down, come up a little bit. And then maybe I come back, reach my arms back, take the chair, drop the bottom, sit up. And then reach forward, weight on the heels, lift the arms and bottom slightly. And then drop the bottom, take the chair, lift the spine. And you can do any combination of that you want. And just feeling that very active thigh stretch. Very nice. And then we can kind of sit back into the chair. So you're rounding your spine a little bit. And maybe you can lift one knee up, straighten it a little bit. So I've got a curled spine, lifting the other knee into me, maybe straightening a bit, doesn't matter which. Maybe I can keep one leg lifted, see if I can lift the other one up. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Maybe I can do toe taps, one at a time. And as I've got my curled spine, it means my abdominals are working. And that's nice. So you can do toe taps, or you can just keep changing one side. Depends on how you feel today. And then maybe you can take hold of one to lift the other one up if it didn't work just on its own, holding the backs of the legs, shins parallel, maybe one leg up, maybe the other leg up, maybe both legs up. Who knows? Maybe arms out, maybe take hold of the feet, don't fall off the chair. It doesn't matter where you are. You're feeling something, hopefully, somewhere in your body. And then very gently, one leg at a time, really super slowly. Feel that abdominal stretch. Very nice. And then press yourself up into your upright position. Pressing the feet into the floor, squeezing the shoulder blades and the arms back, just to open the front of the heart a little bit. Just doing the opposite stretch. And then sit back at your desk and go back to work with a little bit more joy in your body and a bit more strength in your legs. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for joining me. And if you want any other exciting yoga stretches, just let me know. Thank you for coming. Bye.